shield. He's the peace in the midst of the storm. He's the wheel in the middle of the wheel.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon. Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
We're back again, and we want to welcome you once again to another edition of Ask Elaine. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, and it's an honor and a privilege for me to serve you. And uh, we want to welcome those of you who joined us by on AM, FM, on Facebook Live here. We want to welcome those who've joined us via Facebook Live. Randy Crawford is already on. Um, Good old labor person. Yeah, yeah. And we look forward to all the others who will be joining us. But thank you so much for being here with us. And we just appreciate you so very much. Now, we in welcoming you, we want to make sure that you understand that whenever you tune in, we try to have some useful information for you. We don't want to just have you to tune in and then you not get anything from the broadcast. We hope that each week we're offering something to you that's going to help improve your life and also improve the lives of those that you care about in this community. Today we will have two special guests. One of those guests is here with us. This is none other than Mr. Eddie White, who is the local chairperson for the A. Philip Randolph Institute. He's also affiliated with Black Voters Matter, and Black voters do indeed matter. Black Voters Matter is one of those organizations that assist us with sponsoring and keeping this program in front of the people of Macon and Bibb County and the surrounding areas. And so today, Mr. White is here with us. He's going to talk a little bit about the organization, the A. Philip Randolph Institute. And then we're going to talk about a special program. Um, did you ever wonder if you have an outstanding warrant floating around out there from your past? Are you quite certain that you do or you don't? Well, this may be your chance to clear up your legal issues and move forward with a clear mind. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Ask Elaine, Mr. White.
Thank you. Welcome. Welcome.
Okay, if
Appreciate you.
you'll speak into that mic a little closer,
Yes,
our
ma'am.
engineers. Okay, we're awfully glad to have you here. Glad that you could make time to come in and talk with us. I understand you're just leaving a project. You're working on something right now. Tell us about that.
Yes, ma'am. We are out in the community trying to make sure that we get this information out. We feel that it's a very important project that's going on, that the Macon Bibb County community has been afforded the opportunity. So we're out sharing that information. We was out at the shopping center uh, down at the Piggly Wiggly on Rocky Creek Road. We
Hmm.
was down there this morning, and we got an opportunity to share with 11 people. We signed up 11 people this morning, uh, pre-registered 11 people, and we registered one person for voter registration. So
Oh,
they,
okay,
yes,
good,
so we're
good.
doing both at the same time.
Right. You've got a number of organizations that whenever you see them, you know that if you're not registered, you can register to vote with them. And also, you can get on the list for whatever the upcoming program is. And that is very, very important that we go to people because we're finding it's very, very hard to convince a lot of people that they need to be registered or that they need to take part in something that will help themselves and their community. What is A. Philip Randolph Institute?
A. Philip Randolph is a labor organization. It was originally founded by Mr. Asa Philip Randolph.
Hmm.
He was the catalyst to form the first black union, the Pullman car porters. They was porters that used to work on the trains, uh, servants pretty much,
Hmm.
and he organized them. It took, I think, about 12 years for them to get organized, but he put that into place. And from there, Mr. Randolph, one of the greatest things that he did do, people don't realize that or
Yeah,
know that he was the greatest labor leader there ever
right,
was. And
right.
so he organized the March on
He
Washington,
surely did.
and
Yeah,
that is his legacy, that Dr. King and he were able to forge that bond together and make that happen. But however, people don't realize that, and we want to make sure that they know that Mr. Randolph and Mr. Rustin, Bayard Rustin, may they rest in peace, that they were the organizers of the March on Washington.
right, right. A lot of people we're forgetting our history because we're not teaching it. We're not talking about it enough. And so it's no wonder that our children really don't aren't as proud of themselves as they should be because if you see all of the miracles that were put in place by a lot of our ancestors, you would be just so proud and it would be a challenge to you as to what you're able to do. So, A. Philip Randolph Institute is an organization that carries on. Although A. Philip Randolph is no longer with us, Bayard Rustin is no longer with us, Dr. King is no longer with us, that does not mean that the work that they did was in vain. As a matter of fact, it means that there's something that we need to do. So, um, in keeping with the works of these great men and women, our ancestors, your organization is partnering with, tell us about who you're partnering with and what you're going to be doing here on the August 27th. So y'all mark your calendar for August 27th, and Mr. White's going to tell you all about that.
Yes. Uh, A. Philip Randolph and Black Voters Matters have partnered together for this great opportunity for the Macon Bibb County community. On the 27th of August, from from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., there will be like a court. A judge will be there, the bailiff will be there, and anyone that pre-registered, we have a flyer that's been passed out. Union Baptist, Reverend Stanley has graciously put that up into his community, to everyone that he knows. He's sharing that. We got a couple other.
What is it you're having?
We're having the warrant clinic.
Warrant?
Said charges, any bench warrant, state or municipal, court accepted. All you have to do is a barcode that we have, and you pre-register. You show up on the 27th at between 10 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
and the judge asks you to come up. Now, we know that there's a lot of apprehension out there. People are worried about getting locked up. Have no fear, my brothers and sisters. I assure you that this will be held at 4600 Mercer University Boulevard at the church Word and Deed Church. There, you're not going to be arrested. There will be no police on the scene. Okay, just come in and you will have an opportunity to get anywhere, no matter what your fine is. They will either reduce it to zero or narrow it down all the way to just about nothing.
Okay, and you remember we said that if you're in doubt as to whether you have something that's lingering out there, if you ever wondered whether you have an outstanding warrant floating out there, and if you're not certain, then you need to attend this event, which will take place on August the 27th. And the latest edition of the Middle Georgia Informer, and you can pick them up at a number of places. EL High School Academy is one of the places that you could pick it up. But there is a story, a full page story on the work that A. Philip Randolph is doing along with the solicitor's office, Rebecca Grice's office. They're collaborating to do this warrant clinic where you can clear up some stuff
Yes.
that might have been hanging over your head. So, August 27th, and on this page, there is a barcode,
Yes.
and you can simply scan that and get all the information and actually register for this. Um, People find things to be scared of.
Yes.
uh there we don't have there's nothing to be fearful of with this is going to be the solution to some problems. Mr. White, we have Coroner Jones on the line. We're going to go ahead and take his call, if that's okay with
That's
you.
fine.
He always has some good stuff. Coroner Jones, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon,
Good
Commissioner, and
afternoon,
thank you
and
so
we're
much
always glad.
again.
We're not always glad to hear from you, but when we hear from you, you always have something wonderful to share. Welcome to Ask Elaine.
Yes, ma'am. And I want to thank the gentleman with you. I didn't get his name. Is his name Mr. White?
Mr. White, Eddie White.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna make this very quick. This is a golden opportunity for people to clear up their records. A golden opportunity, and we really need to spread the word out, Commissioner. Whatever it takes, whatever I can do to spread the word out, I'm gonna call Queen Keisha and put it on Facebook. Cause let me
Uh,
tell you this right here. This is very important. 4 years ago, the late Bill Gay, the Bibb County deputy that died of COVID, pulled over a guy that was speeding. He had an outstanding warrant in another county. Bill Gay was nice enough to let me come get the car, save the guy some money so it wouldn't be towed in. They carried this guy back to this county. Well, he was locked up and incarcerated. He paid a bond, got out, and did not report. Okay, they
mm,
took a warrant out on him.
mm,
All right, 1 week before 4th of July, he got locked up, and guess what? It showed outstanding warrant. He
uh,
had to stay in jail the whole weekend, Commissioner, even the 4th of July, because a lot of people was closed that Monday and Tuesday.
yeah,
Okay, these people and people call me. You know, I got unlimited resources because I do
yeah,
a lot of network in surrounding counties. So I know a lot of judges in small counties. They doing these people favors for me because I'm the coroner of Bibb County, and they still won't report.
yeah, yeah,
These people are riding around with outstanding warrants. I'm gonna tell you something. Most law enforcement, whether you know it or not, most law enforcement agencies where it goes 60 miles to pick you up. After that, they won't go. They just say you handle it in your county. I had a good friend a couple of weeks ago. His grandson got locked up going to a family reunion. He got an outstanding warrant in Bibb County that's 4 years old.
Uh,
Now I know his granddad is listening. If he's not, I'm gonna call him and tell him it's a golden opportunity to get this stuff straightened out now.
right, right. That's August 27th at Word and
August
Deed.
27th
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. What are the
at the Word
hours?
of Deeds Church.
Word of Deed
Right,
Church.
out Mercer University Drive, almost
Oh yeah, I
down.
know exactly where it's at. It's right there
It's
at that fork cross with
Credit
Family
Union.
Dollar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
7600
yeah,
Mercer University Boulevard.
right,
We need to spread the word. There is a go. Cause let me tell you something. You will be surprised how many people drive around with suspended license. Cause when they get pulled over, you know what's gonna happen.
Yes.
I
right.
say it all the time. You get locked up. You get your car towed in. You got to pay a record fee, a storage fee, blah blah blah. People ain't got money for that kind of stuff.
That's
You
true.
got
Wait.
a golden opportunity to get your record straightened out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that's why we're having this conversation, and we want to certainly invite everybody. Um, get that latest edition of the Middle Georgia Informer, and scan this code on here. Um, it's traffic misdemeanor charges, any bench warrant, state or municipal court accepted. And you can sign up
Yes,
by
ma'am.
scanning this barcode on here. This is Saturday, August 27th, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you sign up ahead of time, then you'll be on the list and you'll be able to get your situation taken care of. Now, A. Philip Randolph coroner is joining with Rebecca Grice, the solicitor here in Macon-Bibb County. They're working on this together. This is great that there's this collaboration because
Yes, ma'am. It is.
our folks really um, need to take advantage of this. If you're not
Yes,
sure,
ma'am.
not gonna hurt you to sign up and go and find out. And Mr. White tells me it will be set up sort of like a courtroom
Yes.
setup, where with a judge there, the
Yes.
solicitors from folks from the solicitor's office, and they will work with you to clear up some of these things. So uh,
They, they have a
I don't
golden
know what else
opportunity.
we can do other than to share this information. We're going
Yes,
to
ma'am.
post the information on in the chat for today's program, so people can refer to that. Um, Coroner, we have Pastor Lisa, who's with us on Facebook Live. We have my sister Nita, who is
That's
on.
my little
Uh,
sister.
yeah, we have Randy and Ricky Crawford, and we have a number of other people who are listening on AM radio and FM radio. So if you want more information, check out the Facebook Live, the recorded program, and you will be able to get the full story there. We're going to also have Mr. White to post his number, contact information, so that you can check in with him if you like. This is a golden opportunity.
A golden opportunity, Commissioner. A
Right.
golden opportunity. Mr. White, thank you so much for what you're doing for this community. Because, Commissioner, she can tell you, I love Macon like I love my country. Y'all have a blessed evening.
Well, we
Thank you.
certainly thank you for everything, and thank you for doing your back to school distribution over at the program that was in East Macon last month, where there were 6 ministers from the East Macon area that brought folks together. It was a full house at New Pleasant Grove. Herbert Denard and some others spearheaded that, and that whole idea was to encourage people to love each other, to take care of each other, to do no harm, just walk away. And an extension of that is to pull people together to come up with a think tank, some ideas of how we can go about training our kids to um, resist the temptation to hurt each other. And right now, that's what we're doing. Our kids are killing each other, and that's just so unfortunate. We want to say hello to First Lady Sherry Shannon Miller for joining us, and all those who have joined us on Facebook Live. Our special guest, our first special guest, is Mr. Eddie White, who is the local chair of the local chapter of A. Philip Randolph Institute, and he is inviting. He, along with the solicitor's office, they're inviting you on August 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to Word and Deed Church on Mercer University Drive. They're inviting you to come. And if you're in doubt as to whether you have something floating out there, some kind of ticket, some kind of warrant, or whatever it might be just a good idea to check it out, even if you think that you don't have anything out there. I think this is great. This is co sponsored by Black Voters Matter, which is a nonpartisan organization that works to encourage voter registration, getting us out to vote, encouraging people to take part in what you need to be doing as a citizen. So we want to thank all of those folks. Thank you, Coroner, because we always depend on you. And we pray for our coroner because he has a job that I tell you, it's a job. Um,
Commissioner, I
yes,
would like to
Mr.
say
White.
something in reference to the registration. There's
Okay.
only five questions
Okay.
that, and your name and your age on that. But one of the things I did want to say was to ease people's mind. Last year,
If you'll
in,
come closer to that mic,
last year
please.
in September, there was a warrant clinic held in Fort Valley,
Hmm.
and they had 30 people that came through there that was exonerated. Everything was taken care of.
I don't know what else,
A
you
year
know.
before that, there was a gentleman. They had one in New Orleans. That there was a gentleman that came through in New Orleans. He had $63,000 worth of tickets
Oh,
and
my.
fines. He left out of there owing $9. I
Uh,
said $9. So again, tell me God's not good.
Pastor Lisa salutes you and the solicitor, Grice, for this initiative, for
Yes,
doing this, and also Black Voters Matter for being one of the sponsors of it. Our guests, our listeners on here, viewers, are also expressing the fact that we need to take advantage of this, and
yes, ma'am.
also expressing their love for our coroner who needs all of our prayers. By the way, we want to express condolences to all of those families who have lost loved ones, and we want to express good get well wishes to those who are dealing with illness, either you or a family member or close friends. We want to also express our congratulations to lead servant Eddie D. Smith Sr. It was our honor and privilege to be at his church on Sunday, Macedonia, where he took part in the last of the series um, of programs to honor him for 50 plus
Yes,
years. This is the program, and you'll see him and the first lady Martha there on the cover. Quite a thick tribute book here. It was wonderful. um, and the program, the Georgia Mass Choir performed. Richard Hunt, Sarah Hunt's the late Sarah Hunt's son, is the music director over there at Macedonia, and he's a member of the Georgia Mass Choir, and they sang and they sang. You hear me, Pastor
yes,
Lisa? They sang, and it was just wonderful to be there. We had Congressman Sanford Bishop and his wife Vivian, who presented a congressional recognition to Pastor Smith. We also had Senator David E. Lucas, who was there, and I was his assistant, Banner, in helping him to present the proclamation
Yes.
from the state. Mayor Lester Miller
Oh, awesome.
was there and
Awesome.
presented a proclamation on behalf of Macon Bibb County, and I was
Yes.
Vanna there for that one too, and talked about what an icon, what a role model that
Yes.
Eddie Smith was. He was one of the first blacks to be elected to the city council. Served well until he left to for a full time ministry, but he set an example
Yes.
of exemplary service, not
Thank
only
you.
in the faith community, but also as an educator and a civic leader. And so, but then we also had Sheriff David Davis, who paid tribute to Pastor Smith and also presented him with an honorary, he's an honorary deputy sheriff now. I mean,
Yes.
all of that was just so very nice. And then our district attorney, Anita Reynolds Howard, also paid tribute to him. So we just all hope that Pastor Smith knows the respect and esteem that we hold for him. And we wish him nothing but the best as he makes that transition from full time leadership in the church to retirement.
Well deserved.
And the church was the programs were well attended. I understand there were a number of programs, and so we want to wish him all the best. He was there and he was very appreciative. Everybody,
Most
he
definitely.
was there with his family, his children, his grandchildren. I think a few great grands as well. So we certainly want to join this community in wishing him all the best in his
Congratulations.
retirement.
Yes.
And on this coming Saturday evening, I believe it's at 6 o'clock at La Piata, New Pleasant Grove is going to pay tribute to their pastor, Reverend Robinson, who's been with them for 4 years now. And so they will be celebrating, and we are just delighted. Senator and we expect to be there to help that church family to pay tribute to Reverend Robinson. If you have special events that you are going to have, please let us know, and we will be more than happy. Pastor Lisa and Dr. Butler just finished their anniversary celebration, and so we're just very very happy to share in honoring all of these different people. I noticed Ricky Crawford has joined us. He and twin Randy are with us, and all the others, the usual ones who are with us, and others who never post anything, but we know that they're there. If you would like to call us, if you have a comment, um, please press share. First of all, like and share. And then if you have a question or a comment, call us at 478 250 1444. So that's the number, 478 250 1444. And while we're doing this, we would like to encourage those who would like to complete your high school diploma to check us out at EL High School Academy. We are there Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 10 until 5. And we will provide information to you and help you to make a decision as to whether you want to come back and work to earn your high school diploma. So you can call us now. We'd like to thank our volunteers who are in our office now,
Yes.
ready and waiting. They also will have very soon campaign information on the candidates and about voting. And so you need to mark your calendar for late October when early voting will start at the early voting sites. We will be providing rides to vote and also voter information,
Yes.
a listing, a sample ballot, so that you will know who is running and you'll be able to make sure that you vote for those people who are working in your best interest. That's what you want to do. So we're going to get back to a discussion. We have Mr. Eddie White, who has joined us today. We want to welcome him. He's the local chairperson of the A. Philip Randolph Institute. And he's been telling us, for those who just joined us, welcome. But we've been talking about a special event that's going to take place on August 27th. If you will just share that information again with our audience.
Yes, ma'am. Again, good evening. I would like to just share with you on August 27th from the hours of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 4600 Mercer University Boulevard at Word and Deed Church. There will be a warrant clinic. A warrant clinic, what is a warrant clinic? If you have traffic misdemeanors charges, you have any bench warrants, state or municipal, they'll be accepted there. We have a flyer. If that's the Georgia Inquirer,
The Middle Georgian Informer.
Middle Georgia Informer. There's there's a flyer inside there. You
Right,
have an opportunity to scan the
right,
barcode. You
right.
will pre-register. There's 5 questions. Once you scan the barcode, it comes up 5 questions. Answer those 5 questions. It'll show you complete. And then on the 27th, you show up. The judge will be there. The bailiff will be there. And if you have anything going on, they will take care of that. Uh, Good example, you could have a $100 misdemeanor. It could be knocked down to zero, or it could end up being $5.
Hmm.
This is not the first time this has been done. It was done in Fort Valley last year in September.
Hmm.
We had 30 people that came through. All of them came through with flying colors, no charge at all. So come take advantage of this
It's
opportunity.
sort of like an amnesty
It is
program where you get relief from some things that are not major things, and you just need to get rid of it. It doesn't need to pop up on you when you least expect it. It doesn't need to pop up when you're applying for a job. It doesn't need to pop up when you're maybe applying for
right.
an apartment or some utilities or something. You don't need to have those surprises. And this is a way on August 27th from 10 until 2. Do you have to, Miss White, do you have to um, register in advance
Yes,
in
yeah.
order to?
We're asking them to please pre-register. That way they know that they are coming. So you don't want to just show up like a pop-up target. Uh, I did want to say this is that it gives them an opportunity to do that. I think the coroner put it, he laid it out specifically.
Hmm.
He talked about that all of a sudden you get pulled over for a traffic stop. You got car impounded. You
Uh-huh.
got to get it with a bail's bomb. It just happened a holiday
Right.
weekend. You're stuck for the weekend.
Because that warrant is
Right.
out there.
You miss a
Uh-huh.
day
And it
at work.
comes up.
So it adds up. All that adds up when you could do it, just got it taken care of right now. This is, like he said, the golden opportunity. Don't pass this up. Take advantage of this opportunity. This is it. This is an opportunity of a lifetime.
All right. We want to welcome Maria Bryant with the NAACP, who is here. I swear Maria is all over Macon,
Yes.
everywhere. And the NAACP has partnered with A. Philip Randolph
Yes.
on a number of things. The NAACP has been over at EL High School, and we partnered on making copies of IDs for people for absentee voting. So they always partner with different organizations. They're always doing
Yes.
stuff
Yes.
and always on site to register folks to vote. So we'd like to say hello to Maria, also Pastor Lisa, Ricky and Randy Crawford, Sherry Shannon Miller, my sister Nita Huckabee, and all the others who have joined us that haven't put any comments in the chat. We'd like to hear what you have to say. And if you want to call us, you can call 478-250-1444, and we'll be glad to take your question. If you have a question that you want to ask Mr. White, if you have a question that you want to ask about City County government, we'll be glad to respond to
Yes.
that. Oh, by the way, we had a Mr. Turner and a group of former students of Ballard Hudson Senior High School who came to Commissioner Watkins on our Make a Bib commission and requested that that portion of Anthony Road from Pinehonor Avenue up to Felton Avenue be renamed in honor of Mr. Robert L. Scott,
I saw that.
who was the band director at Ballard Hudson for umpteen years. He was also a member of Historic Stewart Chapel, the church that I belong to. And all of the time that I've been there, I always knew Mr. Scott. He was a very talented leader, community servant, musician, teacher, all of those things. Just a great person. And so Mr. Turner and the group pushed to have that portion of Anthony Road renamed for Mr. Robert L. Scott. And so yesterday we approved, the commission approved that. And so for that particular section, that portion of Anthony Road, the road itself, the street will, that name will change. So Pastor Lisa says it's a legendary man, and indeed he was.
Yes.
He is legendary because there are people who still speak of him, even though he's no longer with us. People speak his name when they talk about music and music education. So I wanted to share that with you. We have honored a number of people in this community by designating a portion of a street. We've done it for Reverend Dr. Walter Glover. If you come on the Coleman Avenue side of Greater Zion Hill, you'll see signs that are up that designate a portion of that street as Dr. Walter L. Glover Way. Same over on the east side, Pastor Gamage, the late Richard Gamage. There's a designation over there. There are a number of ways to honor people, and I'm always very excited to be a part of honoring folks in this community, especially Black folks, because we haven't always been in a position to be recognized, to be honored. And so I'm just very, 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 very happy. Yes, Pastor Lisa, we know that Reverend Dr. Walter Glover is your lifelong pastor. Thank you for reminding us of that, because you remind us of that quite often. And I know he's listening. So, he knows we love him, and Dr. Beverly Glover as well. We want to get back to our topic for today, which is the Warrant Clinic, which is going to be held on August 27th. We really want you to put that date down. It's from 10 until 2. And if you get a copy, um, is the coroner on again? All right, Coroner Jones, how are you again? What?
Commissioner,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner, it's
Yes.
Cortland Avenue, not Coleman.
Portland, excuse me. Yes, it is Cortland. Yes.
Yeah, you said that last week. I said you hung
Did
up on
I?
Coleman.
Well, now Cortland. Thank you very much. It is
Cortland
Cortland.
Avenue.
Yes, it is. You're right. It's a
Thank you,
portion
ma'am.
of it that's named. Thank you so much, Mr. Coroner.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
would you repeat those warnings that you have for young people as far as interacting with police? Because we're still having too many of our young people to have negative outcomes in their interaction with police. So you usually give some tips as to how young people especially should interact
Yes,
with
yes,
the
ma'am.
police.
The way. do you interact with a law enforcement officer when you get pulled over? First of all, don't cop an attitude. That's the first thing. Don't cop an attitude. All right. There are certain things you must have in your possession to operate a motor vehicle in Georgia. You know that. Valid
Right.
driver's license, valid insurance, valid registration. Okay, valid tag. If you are behind in your child support, your license could be suspended and you not know it. You haven't received a letter from the DMV yet. Yet, it's showing suspended when the police pull you over. It shows suspended. So don't get an attitude with him or her. They're just doing their job. Handle
Mm.
your business, as my late mama used to say. Okay? Handle your business. Okay? The side of the road in the parking lot is not the place to have a verbal or physical confrontation. Everybody got a supervisor. Everybody got a boss. You don't know what's going on in the policeman's life. Okay? His wife might be on him. Her husband might be on her. Don't get that attitude. Keep your hands on the wheels. Now, in this day and time, everybody got a gun. Okay? I believe the Pope probably got a gun. And that's
I'm
cool
sure.
too. But keep your hands on the wheel. Let the officer know I have a weapon in my glove compartment, sir. Keep your hands on the wheel. Do what the officer say. Never get out the vehicle unless the officer tells you to get out. I've been
Okay.
pulled over. I was pulled over driving the medical center ambulance coming from Augusta because I look suspicious. I can't quite figure that one out. Okay?
Well,
I was detained in Byron,
you
Georgia
know.
by a policeman after I was produced 5 pieces of identification. That was a setup there, though, because that
Well,
happened for the first coroner's election. That was a trap, but I didn't fall for it.
yeah.
But what I did do was yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. That's how you handle the situation. You can de-escalate a situation your own self by being quiet, answer the question that you were asked.
Yeah. Actually, it's
Everybody got a
being
supervisor.
smart. It's being very, very smart because
Very smart.
you're in control of the situation. You're not letting somebody else take control and harass you unnecessarily or hurt you because they have a problem with you. And so
Exactly.
you are smart and
Nobody
you
wants to be
anticipate.
disrespected. I understand that. Nobody wants to be disrespected. I get it. Yeah, I've been told a lot of times, well, Leon, everybody's not like you. I know that. But I've been down that road before. Okay? When I was driving animals, we had a saying. I'm going home to my wife in the morning, and it's
Mm,
not going to be on a body bag.
mhm. Well, no,
You
it's a
have to think.
shame. Yeah, it's a shame that we have the situation that we have, but just like we have that talk with our kids, we've got to add another part to it, and that is how you finesse your way out of a what could be a tragic situation. And
Exactly. They had that
get
program. They had
better,
that program at
gotta
Glorious
have an
Hope Church.
escape. Right,
They
right,
had a program at Glorious Hope Church several
right.
months ago.
I
What
remember
to do
that.
when you get pulled over by the police?
Right, right.
That needs
We're
to be
going
part
to
of the
have
Bibb
that
County curriculum.
information shared on here too, as well, because I understand it was a very, very good program where
It was.
yeah, folks were given ideas as to how you finesse your way because you cannot, well, there's no other way to handle some situations and come out uh, like you want to. So you got to figure out how to be smarter than someone who's trying to do something to you. So go ahead with your tips because I know you have three or four.
Another thing, Commissioner, parent accountability. Parent accountability. Tell your children how to act. Teach your children how to act when they are approached by law enforcement. Now, let me tell you something now. We're blessed to have some great law enforcement officers in the middle of Georgia area. But there are some buttholes in this area too.
Yeah,
Okay? Now I'm uncut, yeah, and I'm unfiltered.
we know.
Okay?
We like it
You
that
know
way.
that.
Go ahead.
There are some buttholes in this area too.
Right.
So if you're dealing with someone that's irrational, the proper way to de-escalate and dealing with a person like that girl that was yelling and screaming at me that night in Byron, all thing I was saying was yes ma'am and no ma'am, because
Mm,
I knew right then I was dealing with a fool.
yeah. Yeah.
But see, I'm trained to deal with a fool. Okay, you cannot get into the urinary Olympics with a law enforcement. You know what the urinary Olympics is.
Right. Right.
You
Appeal.
know that's the proper term I use on the air.
Yes, I
Urinary
heard.
Olympics, because they got the gun, they got the taser, and you going to jail, and you got to get bonded out. You gonna call me 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna call Cal at Allstate Bonding Company and bond you out. Okay, but learn how to de-escalate in a situation by saying yes and no, yes and no, yes and no. Okay, when Chandler got locked up in Thomaston, Georgia, he got locked up because he had a Crown Victoria with 24-inch wheels on it with
Mm,
Bibb County. I told him not to go over there. He was told 5 times not to go over there. Kevin Bentley told him not to go over there, but he went over there anyway and got locked up.
well,
Got locked up and drinking. I said, son, I said, officer, my son don't drink.
and
He
you
picked up
telling
dead
all
people.
his business. I'm sure you're gonna be real.
You know, hey, look here. I bought that car for Chandler. I can tell the business. Every car we
Oh,
got, I
okay.
bought it.
All right then.
Every
Yeah,
car we
you
got,
were
I
right.
bought it. But see, what he did was he respected the officer commissioner. I asked the deputy in Upson County, I said, what was my son's demeanor? You know what he told me?
What was
It
that?
was yes, sir, and no, sir. Yes, he
Mhm.
gave me permission to search his car. He even gave me a flashlight. My children are raised up around sick people, dead people, police, and the fire department. They know how to act when they get pulled over.
Mhm.
You have to think, Commissioner. But
That
the
you're
other issue
absolutely
I have, a lot of people that flaring up with police, they in violation anyway, Commissioner. They already got an outstanding warrant on them.
right. Mhm.
But that was my tip. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. Valid driver's license, valid insurance, valid tag. Come home to your family the next day, not in a body bag. We
Right.
having too many balloon releases as it is. Think. That's my tip for today. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much, Coroner.
Commissioner.
And
Uh,
it's unfortunate that
yes,
we have to do that, but we do because you've got a choice. You can um, uh, develop this adversarial
right.
relationship with someone out there. Now, nobody's saying you gotta get on your knees and grovel to with anybody, but um, as the coroner says, that on the side of the road in the
Right.
dark is not the place to exercise your strength, of voice or muscle. It is to get out of there with your
Yes.
life, and then you deal with it later on.
I talk about, I, I am a court appointed mediator for the state.
Uh
I
huh.
do conflict resolution. And three things I like to share is one is situational awareness. We
Mm
need to be aware of the situation. Like you say, you need to look that officer in the eye and you see where they're coming from, their demeanor. Once you realize that, you know what the situation is. The next one is conflict avoidance.
hmm.
You
Mm
want to
hmm.
avoid any conflict at all costs. Like you were saying, if you have to say yes, sir, no, sir, whatever the case might be,
Right. Don't give anybody an
right. Don't
excuse
give them an
to, yeah.
excuse. And the next thing is, and the coroner spoke candidly about it, quite a bit about it, was conflict de-escalation.
Mm
Is that if they are ramping up, you go down. You just tone it down. You don't bow up at them. You just give them a small target. You just sit there and just
hmm.
calmly,
Right.
just
Because
right.
they're, most of the time, they're as scared as you are.
Yes,
They don't
yes,
know who you are, what you have on you in your car. They have a family, just like you have a family. And so, and I that's why I am such a supporter of Sheriff David Davis, because he has this training of his sheriff's deputies. And in that training, part of it is conflict resolution, some of it is de escalation,
Yes.
some of it is customer service, all of those kinds of things. And then there's also the cultural type things, how you make sure that you learn not to insult people because they may have a different way of doing
Yes.
things. All of that's important for our law enforcement. But it's very, very important, especially that our young people understand how to get home alive. It is a shame that our folks have to be ready, have to prepare themselves for that. But until more of our folks register and vote and put in place folks who have good sense, we're going to have to deal with people with no sense. And so, one of the things that we've got to do is to make sure we are smarter, we're prepared, make sure that we are
Yes.
prepared for those unfortunate times when we have to work our way out of a tough situation.
Yes.
So, like as I said, it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. My sons, we always talked to them about how to deal with situations. They were big guys, so big guys tend to be intimidating to some
Yes.
folks. So, you had to talk with them every time they left the house about how you deal with stuff
Yes.
and how you let us handle the legal side of it. you know on the side of the road is not the
Right.
place the place to do it. Um, and it's just unfortunate that there is discrimination, that people have a problem with you because you're black or because you're female or because you're young or you're old or whatever. But we've got to learn how to deal with that. Pastor Lisa says Sheriff David Davis has, and he is doing his job well in training his officers. A lot of mandated training,
Yes.
and it's ongoing training, which is so important. And I think that's why we haven't had some of the kinds of things going on here in this community that we've seen in other places, but we still need to know what to say and what to do. But you know what? The police don't have to kill us. We kill each other. For all those folks who sit back and say, as long as they keep it over there in the black neighborhoods, I'm okay. Just don't bring it over here. That is a shame that people are saying, as long as y'all kill each other over there, do all that you want to do, just don't come over here and do it. Isn't that a shame?
Commissioner, I have a saying. Is this is that you're going to meet you're going to meet them one way or the other. You're going to meet them when you're talking to them, trying to train them, share with them. Else you're going to meet them at the end of a gun, a barrel of a gun. But you will meet them
Mm-hmm.
one way or the other. You will
Mm-hmm.
meet them.
Right.
Make it on your own terms. Come out and help us make a difference.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do.
Right.
You know, make a difference. Don't sit back and talk about what's going on, what they did, that we didn't do. Come out and make a difference.
Right.
Everybody can put something, got some input, got some help. We need some help out here too. But it just only take a conversation. I
Right.
mean, I that's what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Came up out of Fort Hill, East Macon. Someone, come here, boy. Let me talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it helped, so but you just can't sit back and talk about what's
That's true.
wrong and
That's
not
true.
have anything to put in there. So it needs all our input. It said it takes the village to raise a
That's
child.
right. That's right. Let's review one final time
Okay.
this program, which is on August the 27th. Y'all, please mark your calendar for August 27th and go to the Middle Georgia Informer. There's a uh, barcode on here that you can use to register, and there's information for signing up for the Macon Bibb, Georgia Warrant Clinic. that's jointly sponsored by Black Voters Matter and Bibb Solicitor Rebecca Grice office. And it's also co-sponsored by A. Philip Randolph. And we certainly endorse through the Martin Luther King Commission. We certainly endorse that. And
Thank
so
you.
this is Freedom Summer 22, Saturday, August 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., a warrant clinic for traffic misdemeanor charges. Any bench warrant, state or municipal court accepted. And you can sign up by scanning the QR code in the Middle Georgia Informer. Or what is your number? I tell you what, we'll just have you to put your number in the chat
Okay.
where people can make contact
Sure.
with you for additional information. Or you can call the EL High School Academy at 478 257 6767, and we'll be glad to share with you information on this warrant clinic. Oh, our time goes by
We had
so
fun.
fast. Yes, it was great. Um, Pastor Lisa has posted the information
Yes.
in the chat for us at Word and Deed Church on Mercy University Drive, the Warrant Clinic. Y'all, please include this on your calendar if you need to. Um, in 2 weeks, we will have the new superintendent of the Bibb Public Schools. He will be here and he will share with us the entire hour from 3 to 4 on Ask Elaine. And he'll be talking about his vision for Macon, Bibb County. So, Superintendent Dr. Dan Sims will be here. And so we encourage you to join us, not just we appreciate you having joined us today, but we want to see you back here next week when we'll have some more special guests, some news and information for you. And then join us on the 24th, August 24th, right here on WDDO for the new Bibb School Superintendent, Dr. Dan Sims, who will be our special guest for that entire hour. And we're all looking forward to it. The school system is having a luncheon on tomorrow at about 11:30 over at the Ballard Hudson building on Anthony Road. It's where the Hutchings Career Center is located. So you'll want to go by there and enjoy some information on education. Books in the ballot, the keys to our success and the keys to our future. If you want to make this community better, make sure that education is strengthened, and also be ready to vote. If you're not a registered voter, I don't know what you're waiting for. I really just don't know. And we thank the engineer for putting that flyer up there on the warrant clinic. So you'll get a chance to go back and review this program and to get all of the details there. Thank you so much, Mr. Engineer. All right. Oh, Pastor Lisa reminds us that Macon Violence Prevention on Houston Avenue tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. Free food and music. There are all kinds of activities going on all over this community for violence prevention. Stop the violence. So take part in it.
Yes.
Otherwise, just don't complain. Please don't complain about the violence in our community if you're not doing anything to get rid of it. So, thank you again, and we'll see you again next week for another edition of Ask Elaine.
Thank you so much.